Oh, see how greasy I am. It will take forever to clean this.
Take it easy, Pan. Your days of endless scrubbing are over. We now have new Sunlight Dishwashing Liquid.
What do you know about a Pan's life?
This advanced formulation has real lemon juice that will cut through greasy stains fast in just one wipe.
Wow, that was fast.
See how fast it is to remove grease in one wipe?
New Sunlight Dishwashing Liquid for fast grease removal in one wipe.
Welcome back. You're watching KTN Newsdesk. Let's now cross borders. 15 Egyptian nationals have been charged in a Kisumu court with being in the country illegally. Some of them face extra charges of using fake documents to work in Kenya. They were, however, released on a cash bail of 100,000 shillings and a surety of a similar amount. They were arrested by police during an operation on Wednesday night.
Get very famous in one day.
And how do you
13 counties from the Lake Victoria block have gathered in Kisii town to deliberate on health hiccups dogging the area. The forum, held at Kisii University grounds, was officially opened by Health Cabinet Secretary Cleopa Mailu. Fred Muturi reports on this conference.
For making it happen. Health workers, thank you for the support.
Coming just days after Kenyan doctors went back to work after 100 days of strike, the health conference was themed around strengthening healthcare systems.
But the more serious aspect which this conference needs to bring out is the whole issue of sharing information and the whole area of telemedicine. Because we can't have all the experts, whether it's in oncology or whatever areas of medicine that you're talking about. We must share facilities and we must share experts.
Is aimed at addressing common socio-economic challenges and tap common advantages arising from our geographical proximity within the Great Lake Victoria Basin.
This realization alone tells us that we have a symbiotic relationship, we have similarity of challenges. Our interrelationships can only enhance the service delivery we give to our people. And therefore, as Governor Ongwae said, a cancer center in Kisii will serve the entire region. Therefore, that relationship should not escape our minds despite the independence of the county governments.
The meeting, bringing together 13 counties in or around the Lake Basin areas, is aimed at tackling hiccups in management of health services.
We are also working closely with the Kisii County government in meeting requirements for the start of a school of medicine and surgery. We will be very grateful with all the help that we will get from government and private investors in bringing this initiative to fruition for our people.
It is important for us to appreciate that health is an important pillar that we must invest in as a region for some good reason.
Our facilities here are such that serious illnesses, we have to transfer the patients to Nairobi, to Kenyatta or other hospitals in Nairobi that have proper facilities. Some have to be transferred to Eldoret, and we are starting to say no.
Governors in the Lake Region Economic Bloc chaired the plenary sessions and taking the chance to outline what devolution of health had achieved throughout the 4 years.
We have recognized that there is need for us as a region to put our acts together in order to attract investors and also attract partners that are keen to work with the region as opposed to a county.
So even the money alone being given to healthcare right now, if it was to be put into proper use, if we were to ensure we have efficient procurement processes where the people who are in charge of procurement are able to buy proper equipment and pay the correct price, that money, even if it was not been increased as it is, if made into proper use, it can go a long way in improving healthcare.
And in matters to do with health, we have made big strides. We have built a lot of dispensaries, a lot of health services centers, and we have employed so many people, up to the tune of about 800 medical staff.
Fred Muturi, KTN News, Kisii.
All right, let's go back to our big story of the day, and that's the presentation of the budget 2017-2018. And our reporter from the Western region, Robert Wanyonyi, now tells us about the expectations of sugarcane farmers from that budget that is set to be read in the afternoon, amounting to 2.62 trillion shillings. Let's take a look.
Okay, thank you very much, Studio. We are today handling the budget issue. As you are well aware, is that today is the budget day whereby Kenyans are having a lot of expectations as the budget is being read by the Minister for Finance. And we have gone out of our way to look for various Kenyans doing their various scope of businesses and their duties. And here I've come to the Nzoia sugarcane growing belt, whereby I have some farmers who are set to tell us about the problems bedeviling this sugarcane industry and maybe what are their expectations as the minister reads out the budget later in the day. Before me, I'm joined by one of the farmers who will tell us maybe his names and maybe expectations. What are your names, sir?
My name is Webster Wechuli.
Okay, tell us your names and what are your expectations as the budget is being read today?
Yeah, my name is Webster Wechuli. I'm a farmer contracted to Nzoia Sugar Company. Today, I expect the minister to set aside some amount of money that may be used to pump into the sugar industry so that farmers are paid. And I also expect that all the sugar companies will be paid, their debts will be paid by the government through this budget that is going to be read today.
So what you mean is that you as the farmer or the farmers of this region, you still have some debts to you are demanding from the sugarcane factories in this region?
Yes. I believe that these sugar companies still owe the government and other bodies a lot of money, and basically that could be the reason why we the farmers are not being paid on time. So much is being said about us being paid, but indeed that is not the true picture on the ground. Farmers, the company like Nzoia owes farmers a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, from you, maybe, we heard that the government has been bringing some money to bail out Nzoia, Mumias, Muhoroni, and these other sugar factories. Do you mean that the money has not been reaching the farmers?
Basically, I don't think so. And if it has been reaching, then it may not have been enough, because as we speak, so many farmers are still crying out. They are still... the company still owes the money. Like we have farmers who harvested around December. They are still crying out. They have not gotten their money. So basically, I think that money, if it really reached, then it may not have been enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is the issue of farmers' payments. And maybe I will need another farmer to come here and maybe tell us what are his expectations in regard to the sugarcane farming in this region.
A farmer, Edwin Kitui, a farmer in Bungoma, Bukembe Eastward. The expectation... today, I expect the minister, according to the rumor, may I talk about what we are expecting?
Yes.
Enough funds to be brought. And at least that funds must be brought, and there is something they have to actually think about. The mismanagement. We expect the money to be brought, but misappropriation of the funds with the management as we are expecting that they are bringing in a new MD, but we expect the new MD must be brought in from around the belt, sugar zone belt, I think.
Okay, is it a rumor or is it confirmed? And what can you tell the government, maybe, if at all you have reservations about what they intend to do for in the side of management?
I think, to me, it is a rumor and confirmed that the new manager is being brought. But what I advise the government, they must look for a manager from the sugar belt who has the knowledge about the sugar growing. I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you believe in the ability of the current Nzoia managing director, though he's still acting, but he has been in the sector for long, and maybe is it the person that you want to steer the company, or what I say?
That one is suitable because he came here when he was very young. He has grown in Nzoia Sugar Company up to the level he is now. He knows all corners of the sugar belt, and he can manage, I know, if he's given the mandate to do so. He's the person who has every bit of the information around the sugar belt. So if he's given the time, he can manage.
So as farmers, you want to appeal to the government to confirm him to the position?
Exactly. I urge the government to confirm him so that he can actually manage. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, our reporter Robert Wanyonyi there speaking to a sugarcane farmer on the expectations today. And as he speaks to a sugarcane farmer, let's now cross over to Eldoret, where our reporter Elvis Koskei now joins us live as he talks to a number of farmers. You know, agriculture is the biggest backbone for the economy of parts of those parts of this country. So Elvis, a very good afternoon to you. What do farmers really want to hear today?
Thank you very much, Akisa. And we are in Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County. Farmers in Uasin Gishu County are expecting the CS Henry Rotich to address several issues, including the issue of fertilizer. Remember, there are some of the perennial challenges that have been affecting farmers in this region. And just straight away, I'll go to one of the farmer here in Uasin Gishu. Labda utuambie majina yako ni nani na unatarajia ni kipi ambacho kinafaa kuangaziwa leo, ikibainika kwamba saa hii ni msimu wa kupanda mahindi?
Kwa majina ni Charles Tanoi, mkulima katika kaunti ya Uasin Gishu. Kati ya mambo ya budget ambaye Henry Rotich ama waziri ambaye anahusika na mambo ya fedha, natarajia kwamba yeye ataweza kupupisha ama kuweka chini bei ya mbolea, bei ya maziwa aweze kupandisha. Pia mambo ya chakula ambaye ni ya kutumia kwa kulisha mifugo pia inaweza kwenda chini. Kwa hivyo mambo mengi ambayo inahusu agriculture tunaomba pengine Rotich aweze kuweka chini ndio maisha ya mwananchi iweze kujimudu.
Labda ukilinganisha huu msimu na msimu ulioweza kupita, tumeona kwamba bei ya mbolea kidogo ilikuwa na tashwishi. Wengine walikuwa wanasema wanataka DAP, wengine walikuwa wanasema wanataka NPK. Alafu tukaona pia pesa ambazo zinafaa kualloketiwa kidogo zikakuwa namna gani?
Mambo ya allocation ya pesa ya ukulima ama mambo ya kununua hata mazao ilikuwa chini kulingana na mwaka uliopita. Mwaka huu pesa ilikuwa kidogo sana ambayo haingewezekana kununua mbolea ama chakula ambayo imetolewa na wakulima. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Bwana Rotich aweze kuweka juu ili wakati wakulima wamepanda mazao waweze kununuliwa na cereal NPP yote.
Okay. Yes. Let's also talk to Dr. Swarup Mishra. We expect that the CS Henry Rotich will address different issues. And in the health sector, what do you expect?
First of all, I congratulate the government of Kenya for enhancing the budget allocation for tremendously and significantly this year. Health is our priority of our leadership, both president and deputy president. So what we will like to also expecting that the health allocation should be also increased. And we have to give emphasis on the health education to train more doctors, medics, and paramedics. Number one. Number two, in the maintenance of procured equipments, high-end equipments which we procured before, which increasing and training more biomedical engineer. Number three, we have to categorize our country, different towns, type A, type 2, type 3, like that, so that the country, we have level 5 hospitals in county headquarters, apart from national hospitals. So we can go for type B, type C, type D towns, another level of hospitals, so that we can reach the health to all with cost-effective way. So the allocation will be, we need more allocation in the health. But we congratulate the both Finance Minister, the CS, and Honorable Henry Rotich, and the Government of Kenya.
Okay. Also, I'm aware that this time round we have a reeling debt of 3.8 trillion.
Yes.
Do you think we're heading in the wrong direction?
No. You see, more investment, more income, and the debt will be cleared. But lesser investment, the debt will be more. Yes.
Dr. Swarup, maybe 1.7 trillion, this amount in taxes which Kenyans are supposed to pay their taxes so as to meet this year's budget. Do you think we are going into common mwananchi pockets so as to sustain our budget?
No, not really, because we expect the income of our Kenyans and Wananchi will increase. So the tax will increase. It's simple. Yes.
Lastly, do you think we'll adequately finance the IBC before the general elections?
Well, yes. The government is very, very prompt and effective to do so. Yes.
Thank you very much. You've heard from Dr. Swarup Misra and also a farmer here in Uasin Gishu County. Maybe just to get back to you, Abi Agina, there in studio.
Well, many thanks there, Elvis Koskei from Eldoret County. Actually, Uasin Gishu County just giving us the latest on budget expectations. We're still keeping it here at the National Assembly, where the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, Henry Rotich, is expected to make his way anytime from now to address the House and table his 2017-2018 budget for this particular fiscal year. And joining me right now is John Mbadi, who is a member of parliament and also sits in the budget committee. And of course, Mheshimiwa, this budget, 2.6 trillion shillings. What are your views around this budget? Is it too ambitious?
Yeah, I think a lot has been said about this year's budget. Remember, we are doing, this budget is read at the backdrop of an election year. And this being the final budget of Jubilee administration, we expected a more realistic budget. But a lot has been said about how unrealistic, how ambitious it is, and the concerns raised, which is quite a lot. Apart from the fact that it is a huge budget, the next question that we are expecting the Cabinet Secretary to address today is regarding the revenue-raising measures. How then would we finance this budget? Because I think that is the main concern. All the other information we have already, the budget estimates were presented to the House, and the Budget Committee has been seized of it for quite some time. So today, we expect the Minister to tell us, the Cabinet Secretary to tell us how would our government be able to finance this budget.
All right.
Yes.
Speaking about financing this budget, the debt levels of the country are at 3.8 trillion shillings. And of course, there's been that unending conversation saying that we are borrowing to plug in the deficit. And whatever we are borrowing as a country has been channeled to infrastructure. And this will have dividends at the end of the day. Perhaps, do you feel the debt, there's a connection with the economic growth, where we're seeing currently GDP growth projected to grow at 6%, and currently we're at 5.6%.
Yeah, first of all, let me address the question of the financing of the budget, the 2.6 trillion. You see, the projected revenue collection, that is ordinary revenue, the taxes and all that internally generated revenue is projected to be at 1.78 trillion. That leaves you the deficit of close to 900 billion. Now, a deficit of 900 billion will have to be financed either through external borrowing or domestic borrowing. The external borrowing projection is also not that much, but it means therefore that we will come to the internal market to borrow or to borrow domestically. That has its own risks associated with it. That has its dangers. But to address your question, we are at a level of 3.8 trillion as we speak. Remember, in 2013, the debt level was very low. In fact, we are more than doubled the debt level. Jubilee administration inherited a debt level of about 1.5 trillion. Now it is 3.8 trillion. Now, this is going to be increased in this year's budget by about 900 billion, and that is being conservative because even the figure of 1.78 trillion to collect it in domestic taxes is going to be really difficult because one, this is an election year and we don't know what is likely to happen in an election year. There is likely to be shocks that we have to absorb as an economy. The investment is going to be slowed because most investors are cautious. But again, I want to also add that a lot of this money, just to now address your concern, has been invested in infrastructural development, also we are told, but the benefits has not been clearly analyzed so that we are sure that this money is invested in a more prudent manner. Because there are two things that we need to be cautious about. Number one is the pilferage, the corruption that is around most of the infrastructural development projects that we have. So we end up spending much more than what we should have actually spent. That therefore means we are increasing the cost of investment in those infrastructural projects. Two, are we investing the right infrastructural projects? Because when you talk of SGR, what is the quantifiable value of that project? The amount vis-a-vis the amount that you have invested in it. Is it what Kenyans really have been waiting for, or it is a downgraded version of what we expected to help spur economic growth?
Many thanks there, John Badi, Member of Parliament for Suba, as well as he sits in the Budget Committee here in the August House, just talking to us ahead of the budget reading expected at 2 p.m. And of course, one of the big budgets we have in the region, that is 2.62 trillion Kenyan shillings. The big question is, how will it be financed? Perhaps residents of Kisumu have some interesting observations on this. And let me bring in my colleague, Rashid Ronald, who is coming live to us from Kisumu County. Rashid, what's happening in that side of town?
Yeah, thank you very much from Parliament Building. Yes, as we have indicated, in Kisumu, and to be precise, at a place called Luangni Beach. Luangni Beach is actually a popular place for fish. If you come to Kisumu without reaching Luangni Beach, then I'm telling you, my friend, you haven't reached Kisumu. So I'm inside one of the eateries here at Luangni Beach. And of course, if you look at around, there are not many customers here. A clear indication that things are not very good economically. If you could have come here a few years back at this particular time, you wouldn't even have gotten a place to sit because the place was totally packed with the tourists, and all sort of people were coming here to have the fish delicacy in this place, and of course from Lake Victoria. Earlier on, I'll be able to speak in a few minutes to with the owner of this eatery, but earlier on I spoke to several people along the streets, and what they are saying is that they are hoping that the government will be able to set aside some funds, a clear fund, to revive some of the collapsed industries in this region, to be precise, Kisumu. Remember, there were many industries in the early 80s. Towards early 90s, most of them collapsed. And of course, that one was very not good for the economy of this place. Of course, many people lost jobs. So there's many rampant unemployment in this place. And of course, we are also talking of them saying that, why do we have our fish from Lake Victoria all the way to Nairobi or abroad for processing? Why don't we have a farm here around the lake here whereby the fish from Lake Victoria can be able to be processed here? Of course, you'll be able to employ many people here in Kisumu. And of course, that notwithstanding, let me talk to one of the ladies, the owner of the eatery where I am. Welcome to KTN News. Welcome to KTN News. She's the owner of this eatery where I am right now. And of course, tell us, how is the business and what are your expectations as we expect the budget?
Yeah, my expectations towards the budget, we expect more from the government since the budget has gone up and we are not even trying to sell anything here. If, as you can see, everything here is down. There's no, the clients are not there, and we are really complaining just because almost a price of unga has gone up. It has shot up to 200 shillings. So at least there is a very we are facing a lot of problems since we cannot even get clients at this place, and more so the hyacinth around, because most of the people know that they should be getting fish fresh from Lake Victoria, but now that they're importing fish from China. In fact, most of the people might think that we are also selling fish from China, but we are not selling fish from China. In fact, we get ours from the lake directly, but we cannot just convince them because they don't see the lake around. But we are facing great problems because the hyacinth has really affected us. So what the government can do to us is that at least they should view the budget for the common wananchi kama sisi, because tuna struggle and we cannot make the ends meet. We are really starving. We have a lot of things to do. We have children in school. We cannot even pay school fee. We cannot even pay our loans because we cannot even afford to get the money the way we used to make business. So the business has gone down seriously.
Thank you very much. You've heard that is one of I can call her residents of Kisumu. She's the owner of this eatery. And I also have another resident of Kisumu here. Probably tell us, what are your expectations?
Mimi natarajia kwa hii bajeti niangalie uchumi umeteremka kabisa vibaya. Hata bahari imejaa gugumaji, serikali ingejali mambo kama hayo kuliko kwenda kusoma bajeti na wasaidia watu wa Kisumu. Tuko vibaya kabisa. Bahari imejaa, nyasi imejaa kila mahali kwa bahari. Samaki hawako. Wateja wengi wanadhania kwamba samaki inatoka China na samaki ni vigumu kupatikana samaki. Sasa watusaidia kwamba budget ikuje chini kabisa kwa wananchi wa kawaida. Isiwe juu kwa sababu imekuwa ya madeni.
Yeah, Akisa, I know Akisa Wandera, I'll be handing over to you in Nairobi, but not without saying that you've had very interesting stories here from the people who've spoken. You've heard of issues like fish made in China finding its way here in Kisumu. And of course, the importance of having a fish plant here in Kisumu so that we can be able to process fish right here. And of course, that one will be able to create employment here in Kisumu. Back to you, Nairobi, Akisa.
Rashid, thank you very much for those interesting insights and interviews with the locals at Luangni Beach. And of course, Rashid Ronald there joining us live from Kisumu, just speaking to a number of Kenyans there, picking their minds on what exactly they expect to come in the afternoon. We've had from Robert Wenyonyi from Trans Nzoia on expectations of sugarcane farmers as well as other farmers in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, who spoke to Elvis Koskei. So we continue giving you around-the-clock coverage of the budget, even as we expect it to be read about an hour from now by the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, Henry Rotich. So keep it here on KTN News as we continue doing the analysis for you as we expect that big hour to arrive. Now, the battle for supremacy between Runyenje's Member of Parliament, Cecily Mbarire, and Governor Martin Wambora has taken a new twist after the latter allegedly blocked Mbarire from accessing a health center to commission a maternity ward. Mbarire had visited the Kathanjuri Health Center in her Runyenje's constituency to open an 8-bed maternity wing built by CDF to a tune of 3.6 million, only to find that the health officials had been ordered to close down the hospital and lock all the gates. With the company of residents of Kathanjuri Market, Mbarire forced her way into the health center, where she proceeded to commission the maternity wing by unveiling the plaque, which read that the wing was done by CDF. The annoyed Member of Parliament tried in vain to open the doors and access the state of the facilities, since all the hospital doors were locked.
Me from opening a facility that has been put up and equipped by the Runyenje CDF. We have put up a maternity ward, fully equipped with beds.
All right, we wrap it up on this note. Many thanks for joining us here on KTN Newsdesk. Peter Wakaba comes in next with Business Today. Of course, more analysis on that particular budget, looking at the specific issues that Kenyans would like to see being addressed in the budget year 2017-2018. Our sign language interpreter has been Meresha Owiti, and I am Akisa Wandera. Have a good afternoon.